My name is Mike Irvine with Aquatas Solutions, and today we'll be talking about creating sequenced PMs. Our objective today is to show how to create a basic sequenced PM. Why do people use these? One, there's a lot less work orders to manage and a lot less work orders to assign. Having less work orders for our end users to update and complete, and then for an economy of movement, basically getting all work done at one place at one time. There is some prep work to setting up sequenced PMs. First, we need to identify the work to sequence. We also need to have a common factor of time. And then the part that probably takes the longest is the job plan prep. Since the monthly will be replaced in this instance by a quarterly and an annual, we need to ensure that those monthly tasks are then added to those quarterly and annual job plans if they're still needed. As you can see here, we've added the monthly to the quarterly. And then for our annual job plan, we've added our monthly and quarterly tasks to the annual tasks. Let's do a demo. Here we are in Maximo. These are our job plans that we're going to use for the sequencing. Here we have our monthly. We just have a couple monthly tasks here to knock out. On our quarterly, we've added those monthly tasks to our quarterly tasks. And then for our annual, we have our monthly, our quarterly, and then there we go, our annual tasks. Once these are ready to go, we can go ahead and create our PM. Now, it usually doesn't matter how you have your system configured because job plan sequencing basically works all the same way. We'll add our asset here, training, and then we'll go ahead and we know what our common factor is of time, which is we're going to use months. We'll come back in and put our date once we add our job plans. Once you go to the job plan sequencing tab, those job plans that you created for this, we'll need to add those here. First, we'll add our monthly. We will add our quarterly. And finally, we will add our annual. Now, this is again where the factor of time comes in. Our monthly is going to be our base unit is 1. So our quarterly will come out every 3rd. And then our annual will come out every 12th time. Fairly simple, right? Now let's go back in and we'll pick an arbitrary date here to get these going. Let's go ahead and save. We'll activate our PM and do a little test. Now that we're active, we'll generate a forecast. Let's go for just over a year. Excellent. Let's check out our forecast. As you'll remember, job plan 1 was our monthly, 2 was our quarterly. So we have monthly, monthly, quarterly, monthly, monthly, quarterly, all the way down to the 12th one where our annual comes out. Now, if you decide to sequence your PMs and you are starting, maybe the next one due is the annual. We can fix that right here with our counter. So if your annual is due next, and that's our 12th one, we'll go ahead and set our counter to 11. We want to subtract 1. And again, we'll test that as well to make sure it worked. Again, we should have the 12th PM coming out, which will be the 9003. And there we go. There's our annual, then back to our monthlies, quarterly, monthly, quarterly, all the way back down to our annual again. And that's setting up your Sequenced PMs, fairly simple. A few key takeaways. One, as we talked about, ensure your job plans are edited and reflect combining the work from the other job plans as needed. Also, before you make any of these changes, ensure that you don't need to show all individual work orders for any compliance or warranty purposes. And if you use Maximo to help forecast your labor, keep in mind that you're going to have less work orders to account for, i.e., monthly, there won't be 12 anymore in a year. There'll only be 8. There'll be 3 quarterlies and obviously our 1 annual. I appreciate the time today. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you can take this back and use it in your daily environment. Thank you.